Hi Robbie, it's great to have you here at WWHQ.
It's good to be here.
How are you?
I'm really, really good. Yeah, I'm really good. How are you?
I'm alright, thank you.
And how are you?
We're good. We're
Yeah.
buzzing to have you here.
I'm rocking, actually. I'm in a very good place.
Good. You enjoying being back in London?
Yeah, ish. You know, there was a part of October that kind of felt like the beginning of August, which was incredible.
Yeah.
We kind of got a prolonged
Yeah, it was
summer,
really nice. Yeah.
and that was beautiful. You kind of like, this is why I love England.
Yeah.
You know,
Sometimes unexpected, but sometimes really lovely.
yeah,
Nice
well,
surprise.
mainly unexpected.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm enjoying myself back in England. Just about to launch into a load of work, but I'm loving being a daddy, loving the WW, loving the AW, the wife,
Yeah.
Robbie Williams. All is good.
So how's WW going for you so far?
Well, so should I tell you about my journey?
Yeah, come on.
Take us on
Take
that
us through
journey.
Okay, well, there's the sort of like relentless weight battle and weight issue that I've had forever. But the most recent thing that triggered this whole thing was I relapsed on smoking. So, and when I smoke, I'm half smoke, half man. I go for it. I'm a man of extremes. And the wife said, you've got to give up smoking January the 1st. And in May, that sounded like a good deal. And also, I didn't want to do the early death. So I was like, yeah, okay. Then it got to November, and Ida was like, remember January the 1st? And inside I went, my toes curled, and I went, and I just thought, hang on, maybe I can just view this differently, this whole process. Not only could I give up smoking, but I could be fit and healthy and have a clean head and a clean vision of how I want my future. And I found that moment to be very, very powerful. A day later, WW phoned up. Hey, we want you to be really healthy and have a clean head, feel good about yourself, and we want to pay you. And the universe spoke, and I listened to it, and I was like, yes, please, let me get on this. So January came, and the smoking stopped, and I started boxing. And I was sort of like, I was kind of getting to grips with what WW is, and I kind of understood it, and there's no points, and okay. It wasn't until April that I actually started to do it properly. Mm-hmm. And I'd been boxing for January, February, March, April, and that was great for my mind, but my food wasn't impeccable or in tune or the right thing.
Yeah.
So I kind of looked like a doorman, and I didn't want to look like a doorman. So I relented and thought, I'll give this a proper go. I was doing the mind thing,
Yeah.
but I hadn't looked at the food thing. Mm-hmm. So instead of picking up the Cadbury's, I cut up a couple of oranges, put them in the fridge, had them cold, and it satiated my sweet tooth. And then I started to look at the points properly, see what it meant. Mm-hmm. And I found that normally my history is being overweight and being dreadfully unhappy. Mm-hmm. And then counteracting that with extreme measures and being depressed because there's no nutrients in my body.
Yeah.
I'm not satiated and I'm starving myself.
It impacts it. Yeah.
Which is why I started smoking.
Yeah.
I went on this extreme sort of diet. And after a few days of eating broth, I needed to just
that habit,
put the emotions down. So I started smoking again. Mm-hmm. You know, this thing with food can literally be a life or death thing, literally. And it's those sort of things that you sort of trigger yourself into doing that could end your life early. How extreme is that? And how weird is that? Yeah. So, anyway, it's practice, not perfection. I fall off the horse. I get back on the horse. Mm-hmm. You know, like last weekend, I was sort of just eating squid and octopus and really, really enjoying it. Mm. I'm really into my fish. But then the chocolate fire has come up. You put one fire out. This is one fire. Don't drink. Alcoholic, drug addict, all of those things. You put one fire out, another fire comes up. And what I'm finding is that, I put the chocolate one out, the fish there. Oh, this fish is lovely. And you go over here and you forget that there's this fire, and then the fire comes back up and you go back into that.
Yeah.
But I'm finding that instead of it being so extreme, it's not. It's not.
So it's getting easier.
Well, it's a life thing. It is easier. It is helping me tremendously. I've changed my life.
Yeah. I suppose it's being aware of it, isn't it? And how it affects you in that way. And knowing that, you could fall off, but that you will get back on again. So confidence.
Well, you sort of never really truly know, because of past experience, that the train will stop. But there's belief there somewhere now, where there wasn't, where it was just like F it, and then it stayed effed. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely just stayed effed. This time it's like, oh, I know that I've got the capability of doing the thing that I've done because I've practiced that for months now. So I suppose, there is a confidence that's coming with the WW program.
And it sounds as though a lot of your favourite elements of the programme is obviously the 0 points food. So you talked about fruit is kind of the balance between that and chocolate, and you've got fish as your kind of favourite meal. So I guess also is another element potentially around support. We know that you've got Beth, your coach, and how your relationship is with her and how that helps you on your journey.
Yeah, Beth's excellent. She's a friendly ear, a sympathetic ear, an excellent coach. And it's sort of like, the chocolate to report. Beth, chocolate. And then Beth's cool. And then you're like, oh, you're not in trouble.
No, it's fine.
She's not your teacher that's going to tell you off. That's the great thing, isn't it?
No, she's, tremendous support. And somebody that's walked the walk.
Yeah. Good.
Great.
So we know it's really important to take time out as well for your own health generally. What do you do to take time out?
Is that even possible in your life?
Is that possible in your busy life? Yeah.
I'm playing a lot of golf right now.
Oh, yeah.
And I was and will box. When Tony Jeffries comes back into my life, he's my boxing trainer that's in Los Angeles. If I could transport him from Los Angeles to Wiltshire, I would do. But right now, I sort of, in between being a daddy and getting ready for the promo for this Christmas album I've got coming out, I'm golfing a lot. And I'm in nature. And it's 3 hours of walking. And it's meditative because all you're thinking about is that next shot. And it takes you out of yourself.
Yeah.
Like boxing does. You go boxing and it's so hard, but so enjoyable. And then I saw on a podcast somebody was saying, if you don't work out, it's the equivalent of taking a depressant pill. Wow. Instead of an antidepressant, if you don't work out and don't do something, you're taking a depressant pill.
Wow.
And that makes complete sense to me.
It does.
And I got something in me like a magnet that wants me to stay isolated, be self-abusive, and kill myself. That's how strong this
that self-destruct
is.
button.
Sabotage.
Yes. So I'm trying to counteract that the minute I wake up.
Yeah.
And sometimes I achieve it, and then sometimes I can spend 18 months in my bedroom. So, it's a lifelong mission.
Absolutely.
The gorilla is never off your back, but, you can do some squats and learn to live with it.
And we obviously at WW talk a lot about how finding that long-term activity that you enjoy doesn't then need to feel like a chore. And I guess things like golf, you're with your friends, and we've seen on your vloggies that you're often with a group of 10 to 12 people doing the boxing. So I guess having that community around you as well. How did you manage to get them all involved as well, or were they already boxing?
Well, we live in California a lot of the time, and it is just a healthier way of living in California. By osmosis, you pick up healthier habits. And I wonder if it's got a lot to do with the weather. But I also think that it's, there's a side effect of extreme vanity that comes from being in Hollywood. It also can lead you to better behavior and healthier actions. Everybody that I'm with and I work with are friends of mine, and they also want to be well and they want to be healthy. I think most people do. And
So
if you build it, they will come. If you lead, they will follow.
They'll come.
You will find your tribe.
Oh, that's interesting. That's actually a really good way of staying, loving a sport, isn't it? By getting your mates involved and
just the banter and the camaraderie, and
having a laugh.
They help you get through those moments that you don't want to get through.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. So everyone knows on the podcast my favourite subject is food. So for you, how do you feel your eating habits have changed, with your food specifically?
This year, since being WW, well, I've really honed in on what works for me and what doesn't, what makes me feel bad.
So obviously you talked about 0 points foods and then swapping those out for the Cadbury's and or the other way round. But then I suppose, does it change when you're doing a gig? Like what you have to do, what you have to eat in order to have the energy?
I really have to look after myself when I'm doing a gig, because the output that you're giving when you're on stage and you're sort of conducting 80,000 people's energy is absolutely exhausting.
It's a massive workout, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a massive mental, emotional, spiritual, physical workout. And then if you have to do that 80 times, it can, cause havoc with your psyche. So the first thing is sleep. That's the most important thing. And then just behind that, or in equal place, is food. And if you're putting the right fuel into your body, it certainly helps. And I did a gig the other night in front of 3,000 people. And because it was 3,000 people and they were all massive fans of mine that knew everything that I'd done, I was like, we're just going to have a giggle and it's going to be great, which it was. But I didn't eat properly.
Right.
And I just had cod and nothing else. Tiny bit of rice. I should have had more rice.
Yeah.
I should have had a little bit of pasta, some brown pasta, some healthy carbohydrates to help fuel me for the show. Because for 45 minutes, it was incredible. But then I found my body reaching for the nutrients that it needs to accomplish the job that I'm asking it to do. Sort of like
stores.
If you're doing a gig on a normal day, your body asks you to produce 1 car. If you do a gig, your body's asking you to produce 25 cars. And you are only capable of doing the 1. So if you don't have the right nutrients, no cars.
Yeah.
It's a great
It's
analogy.
is that a good analogy? Because no, I was just listening to
that makes
myself
sense.
say it, and I was like, that's mental.
No, makes
But
sense.
but that's but that's what most of us are asking ourselves to do every day. If you're a mum, that job that you've got of looking after your kids on little sleep is asking you to make more cars than your body can make. And if you're a dad that gets up and is out of the house while it's dark, goes to work, comes back after it's dark, that's the sort of thing that you're asking your body to do. And if you haven't got the nutrients to make those cars, they don't get made, or the factory goes bump.
And talking about sleep, it is really, really important. Our members are talking about sleep, and we do say, you need the right nutrients. You need to be hydrated, have a good night's sleep as well. So
hydration's a weird one for me because I travel a lot. So I'm never normally near a toilet.
Oh, God.
I'm always in a car.
Yeah.
So I'm good at taking on liquids, water, when I can. But I find myself not because I don't want to stop at the service station at Kiel.
Yeah.
So that's one that I'm sort of getting at grips with right now. It's like how to take on the right amount of liquids without not stopping 10 times on a journey of 3 hours.
Yeah. You are in the car a lot when you do your lives.
Yeah.
I'm like, he's in the car again.
Yeah, I've got this van.
Yeah.
And
is it a van?
It's a van and it's a game changer.
It looks so comfortable.
It is.
You're like,
and from the
it
outside...
looks like you're in bed.
From the outside, it looks as though it could just contain a bunch of spanners.
Yeah.
But on the inside, it actually looks as though it could contain Gaddafi or somebody. Wow. It's proper,
amazing,
proper opulent.
Yeah.
And it's a game changer. It's saving me a fortune on hotels as well. So I just get in this car and drive home.
So obviously you're in the car, you're in the van, you're having such a busy lifestyle, and you have to incorporate food as and when you can. Same with water, we've now learnt. But how does it fit into your family's lifestyle in terms of eating habits and what kind of foods you're enjoying together?
Well, my children are having a very different food education than myself and my wife got when we were growing up. My mum was way ahead of the game in Stoke-on-Trent. We were like, people would come around and they'd go, brown bread? It was kind of like, well, have you got brown bread? It was like, it's sort of like against the religion. It was sort of like, oh, I don't want any of that muck.
Yeah.
But she'd know about roughage and fuel and fibre. I remember being in domestic studies and the teacher asking us a question about food and the answer was fibre. And it was the only time I've got it right.
Got it right.
There's fibre myths, That being said, there's so many misconceptions about what is good and what is bad for you. So the information that people were getting even then, and many times even now, is wrong.
It changes, doesn't it, day to day? What you hear in the news.
Fats are bad for you, fats are good for you, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, my mum never let me go to McDonald's. And now, as a grown-up, I don't go to McDonald's. I've been, but it's not my sort of go-to thing that I do.
It's not a need.
It's not a need, no. And my kids, my kids don't know about fizzy drinks. Mm-hmm. They don't. I made a mistake of allowing Teddy, my eldest, to have a sip of Coke Zero.
Yeah.
It's not. It was, and now it's just like all the time.
Yeah.
Can I? Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they really, really, really healthily.
That's good.
And my wife eats really healthily, but she berates herself.
Oh, yeah.
Because she eats really healthily. Yeah, she struggles with her own self-esteem.
She's
and
tough
her own,
on herself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's really, really tough on herself. Also, she has a metabolism that's unfair. She has an unfair metabolism.
Okay.
When we got together, and this, I'm told, happens a lot when you meet the one and you fall in love, you go for gold. You're sort of like, I now eat. And it's like kettle chips and like Krispy Kreme
Comfort,
Friday.
sitting indoors,
And it's like, and I'm looking, and like she's staying that size, and what the hell has happened here? I remember one time I sort of got my tracksuit bottoms on. We just like started going out first 8 months. Yeah. And I was like, she's put these bloody tracksuit bottoms on, untied them and tied them up to suit her, and now I can't get them on. And I'm like, babe, if you're going to wear my tracksuit bottoms, just make sure that you undo the thing, because I can't get this on now. And she was like, I've never worn them. And I was like, Our love is making me fat.
Reality.
So, anyway, her metabolism is super duper quick, but she berates herself.
She looks so fit.
She is.
Isn't it funny how people are so tough on themselves?
Everyone's got their
everyone's got
problems with themselves.
Everyone's got
haven't
it.
Yeah, she could have her own podcast and talk on about it forever.
Yeah.
But we both, our dysfunctions dovetail, including our food dysfunctions and our self-image. But you've seen what she looks like.
Yeah.
And like, she just says stuff out loud, and you just like, because she's got a touch of, more than a touch of dysmorphia, you're like, people aren't going to relate. People aren't going to relate because you look like that, but inside she doesn't feel
It's
like
all,
that.
everybody's like that. It's all in your own, it's your own perspective on your own body. You're not thinking about anybody else or what anybody else looks like. It's all you, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And that's why mindset is so important.
Yeah.
Part like of anyone's life, but especially when you're on this kind of wellness journey, you've got to love yourself on the way, or you're never gonna love yourself at the end.
Well, you sort of like got to put in the actions to make yourself love yourself, though.
Yeah.
You can't just love yourself. I don't think you can't just wake up and go, do you know what? I love myself
Absolutely.
today.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that happens.
No.
No.
I think you have to have input and take action to, if you want to have self-esteem, do self-esteemable acts. I say this, it's a life's work. I'm not saying that I do that.
Absolutely. It's hard work.
Yeah.
It is hard work.
And then all of a sudden you find yourself in a position where you haven't done self-esteemable acts for so long that it feels like it's impossible to get to even a place where you can consider attempt doing it. But such is life.
Yeah.
And would you say you're at a point now where you are content with yourself? Or is it an ongoing...
No.
No.
It's be an ongoing, but it's like the curse is a blessing, because this lack of self-esteem, lack of self-worth, it's been a real drive. It's like, I'm here because I don't like myself very much. That's the truth about the inside working of my mind. It's like, I don't like myself a lot, and I feel uncomfortable in my own skin. And because of that, it's propelled me to do this on stage and let me entertain you guy. It's like, I'm not that guy. Yeah. But I'm going to embody this thing and I'm competitive, and I want to beat myself, but I don't want to beat myself up.
That's a great quote.
It is good. And I think that's our goal, isn't it? Anybody that comes to us, we just want everyone to be, it's helping everybody, enabling everybody to be comfortable in their own skin, to be, you don't even have to love yourself, just to not give yourself such a tough time and beat yourself up.
I think that is it. Yeah, you don't have to love yourself, you just have to not hate yourself.
Yeah. Enjoy your life.
There's a neutral balance.
Yeah.
And I guess that leads on quite nicely to, if anyone is thinking of starting or has just started with WW, what kind of advice would you give them as someone that's been following it for a while now?
I've said this before, but like with there's moments of opportunity where things present themselves to you in the universe, and the lift doors open. You can either walk out of the lift or remain in the lift until the lift doors open again. It might be Tuesday for you, or it might be Tuesday in 2 months. But those lift doors will open, and you just have to walk through them. Or else the lift doors will shut, and you'll be trapped there for quite a while. But they will open again. I'm saying that with the WW, here's the lift doors opening for you. Just walk out. Put it into action.
That's good advice.
That's great.
Yeah.
And I guess it will be November by the time this goes live, and we will have launched our myWW program, which hopefully will inspire a lot of people to start their journey, like you said. And it's a program that allows you to do the plan in 3 ways. So you've got blue, green, and purple, and each of those have a different amount of 0-point foods and a different amount of smart points, which we've done trials and we've learned that makes it flexible for everyone. It's personalized to different people's way of life. So we know you've had a chat with Beth, and we wondered what color you've chosen to do, or whether you've planned to stay on blue.
I'm quite happy staying where I am. You know, this is working for me. I think I've reached a point where, I don't hate myself. So I think that's the goal. It's like I don't hate my self-image. So, you know, I haven't gotten on the scales. I haven't looked at what it is.
You just know you feel.
I just know I feel better.
Yeah. Said with your button on your jacket.
Yeah, my button on my jacket. I can close my button, you know. So, if this is what this does, I'll just stay here. It's
Great.
cool.
Yeah.
Good.
So blue is obviously our previous Smart Points program, freestyle. But what do you think having this opportunity of being a bit more flexible might benefit other members?
It's horses for courses, literally. You have to suck it and see what works best for you. And I'm sure that November, December, maybe April next year, I'll go, I'll have a look at this other thing. You know, the honest answer is, I've been over it and kind of understand it. But until there's necessity is the mother of all invention. And until there's necessity, I'm happy where I am.
Yeah, you can change.
Great. Go Team Blue.
Go Team Blue.
Team blue.
Okay, so I'm going to take you on to the quickfire rounds next. This is, we're going to ask you some questions, and without trying to give it too much thought, we're going to give you the opportunity to answer these. Okay, boxing or football?
Football.
Oh, night in or night out?
Night in.
Vegas or Hyde Park?
Vi Park.
Fair play. That was a safe option. Beach or city break?
Beach.
Sweet or savoury?
Sweet.
UK or USA?
UK.
Hey.
Yeah.
Eggs or salmon?
Eggs.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that a breakfast go-to or?
Well, no, because you know it's like I'm loving. I know it's posh, but sashimi, salmon sashimi is great. But I'd rather have cooked tuna than anything else.
Or would you?
I'd rather have tuna and crab and squid and octopus.
Nice.
So salmon's lovely, but if there was, if there's 0 points eggs or 0 points salmon, I'd love the plate of eggs.
Nice. Amazing. Well, thank you so much, Robbie, for your time today. Thanks for coming on the podcast. It's been very inspiring. I think a lot of people listening are going to be really excited to
really
start their own journeys or try it.
I'm inspired. I'm inspired. This thing works. And I struggle, and I know an awful lot of people struggle. And when you find something that works, you want to tell people about it.
Cool.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. Make sure to follow Robbie on all of his social media channels, which are obviously Robbie Williams. And keep an eye out for the next podcast, which will be coming soon. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.